Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Let's Play with Weng. I'm your host, SlickWeng. Doing the regrowth. Got my snorkel on. Did some underwater exploration out that direction. And I'm not going to spoil the reasons why. Bad news is I don't think I can do what I was really wanting to do. But anyway, we'll get around to all that in due time. I do have exciting news, however. Exciting news. Are you guys ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Bam! Check that out. I was just going through doing it like exactly what we were talking about last episode. Just kind of doing everything we were able to do. Not any of that stuff. Not any of that stuff. I just started like chugging along through this stuff. So like did the super crafting frame, better chest, compartmentalization, did a lot of that stuff. And we'll go over that stuff later when we're laying it out and I'm showing you guys. But just kind of was blasting through, and yeah, I was like, oh dang, we get to do that stuff. So excuse me while I clear my throat in your ear. This is the throat clearing show, by the way, in case you guys didn't know. Questline is split between this set and what the world teaches. Oh, okay, so it's probably telling me I gotta make books. Anyway, yeah. Quest here, make the witch's oven, which we did. And I was going to go ahead and start making some redstone seeds and made some soft clay jars, and I'm thinking that's what kicked us over in this. So I kind of wish that same thing worked for the Thalmcraft quests, but no such luck. Because that is still a big old blank. Big old blankety blank, blank, blank. So that part's all done. I went ahead and made fume funnels, because it's about time we gotta start getting some fumes, some fumage. Alright, so since we gotta make some fumes, I went ahead, I made 2 of the fume funnels, because evidently, and I've read some of the witchery books, I made some of those, I'm not gonna bother going through them with you guys, but I read some of those, and it looks like you put down your witch's oven, and this will definitely not be the permanent spot, you guys know this would absolutely kill me, but you put down your witch's oven, and I think we put those there. You can have a total of 3. You can have one on top and one on each side. Now the ones on the sides, I believe, increase the chances that you get a fume down here. I'm guessing all of these are, I'm still interacting in the same thing, probably? Yeah. So having the ones on the sides increases your chance to catch a fume. Which kind of makes sense. I mean, you've got like this pipe coming off and circling back around and stuff, so that kind of makes sense. And if you do one on top, it actually increases the smelt speed. I'm not too concerned about the smelt speed right now, so we're just going to do the 2, and those little guys were actually pretty expensive. So let's take a look at our quest book here. Good lord. The way I clear my throat, you guys would think I was like big time heavy smoker or something, or like dying. But anyway, we have to get a hold of these 3 plants. Now I managed to get Spanish moss, and to my knowledge the only way to get these is to make a buttload of mutandis. So I went through about a quarter stack, didn't get none of that, so it'll be one of those tedious deals we'll do later. But something else we are able to do. Brewing seems to require not just any old cauldron like you thought, but rather one that's coated with a paste of seeds known as anointing paste. The first step towards brewing would probably be to make one of these witches' cauldrons. So anointing paste is actually made. You use belladonna, water artichoke, snowbell, and mandrake. Booyah. Now what's next? Witch's cauldron. Beware of side effects occurring when crafting with the cauldron. Interesting. How do we make? Do I have that book? I have this book. Oh. Introduction. Fill a cauldron. Aha, okay. Witch's cauldron by placing a normal cauldron in the world and using anointing paste on it. Aha. I was starting to think that. Starting to. We would have got there eventually. Oh, lordy. So, tell you what, guys. Since we're just kind of we're going to be kind of cruising along, doing a couple little quests and doing a little cleanup stuff. As you guys know, sometimes I like to impart a little wisdom on you. And today is going to be one of those days. So if you're like, screw that, I hate wisdom and making myself better than, in all honesty, just click off. Oh, it's so pretty, and it makes a pretty sound. I like the way this looks. I might throw a few of these down for decoration. Oh, man! Wouldn't it be cool if you could put, like, netherrack in there and set it on fire? It would be like a cauldron brazier or whatever. Oh, that'd be so cool. Anyway, that's not the wisdom I was going to impart. The wisdom I'm going to impart on you guys, and as you know, any of you guys who have spent time listening to me jibber jabber, and so on and so forth, you guys know that typically the lessons I teach, and I don't know, I kind of feel pretentious when I say that, but anyway, so Rowan saplings, okay. The lessons that I try to teach you guys are typically based off of something going on in my life, and this one's no exception. The something going on in my life, I have one of the people that I work with, and I'm going to make this disclaimer right now, just not for any particular reason other than I want to avoid confusion as I tell the story. We got bad guys. Hey, bad guy. Whoops. She is a lesbian, okay? And I say that because as I'm telling the story, I will probably say she, and I don't want anybody to be confused. Here is where everybody's spawning. Been having issues with, like, random creatures spawning inside of our base. So, she is having issues with her girlfriend. That just came about. I noticed that they were kind of arguing. Now, I've only spent time talking to the person that I work with. I didn't spend any time talking to their girlfriend. So I was like, oh, so you guys are arguing. So what are you arguing about? Maybe I can help you out. And she honestly had no idea what they were arguing about. And I couldn't help but think, God, how many of us have been in that exact situation where we're arguing, we're both mad at each other, whether it's with a significant other or a parent or any other family member, friend, whatever. How many times have we been in arguments and been like, what the hell are we fighting over? I'm not really even sure. I'm sure most of you guys have had that exact experience. So that kind of made me laugh, and I couldn't help but say, you know what, maybe I can help you out with this. Boom, 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 boom. Let's do a little bit of that real quick. So I said, maybe I can help you out. What reason does anybody have to argue? Why do we argue with each other? Now, I guarantee you, as I ask that question, every single one of you guys, if you answer that question in your head or verbally to your computer monitor, which would be hilarious, I guarantee you guys will all come up with 1,000 different reasons. Because somebody did something mean, or, because this, because that, yada, yada, yada. And this might sound a little weird to begin with, but bear with me. Every single one of your reasons is exactly the same reason. Every person who views this, anybody who answers that question, you guys will have 1,000 different words that come out of your mouths, but at the end of the day, it's all the exact same reason. Well, Mr. Wang, what could that possibly be? What do you mean? How can we all have the same reason if we're all saying different things? Well, I'm glad you asked, little Mr. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so. every one of those possible reasons you can describe for having an argument boils down to somebody broke a rule. Plain and simple. And you're like, broke a rule? What? We all have rules in our lives. We have rules about, let me get this cleaned up here. We have rules about how we should behave at dinner. We have rules about, I need to find some stinking red dye. We have rules about how people should love us. We have rules about really everything. I'm not going to sit here and list every aspect of your life that you have a rule. So just accept that. You have rules about every single little thing. So let's take, for example, an intimate relationship, because I think this is somewhere where a lot of people could use a lot of help. Not because everybody's screwing up all the time, but when you think about an intimate relationship, it can be the source of the most pleasure and the most pain, depending on how it's going. Oh, I really didn't need... Look at all that freaking red dye I have. So let's take the example of an intimate relationship. Now, the difference between an intimate relationship and a regular old relationship is just what I said, intimate. So this also would apply to just a regular old relationship, friends, etc., etc. So let's take an intimate relationship and let's look at some rules that you can have for an intimate relationship. One of the most common areas where people get into trouble is how they give and receive love. So, what do I mean when I say that? Well, some people, the way that they give and receive love would be through gifts. You know, some people, like, that is purely an expression of love to them, is giving a gift. I can use this example because that is how my lady is. She loves to give gifts, man. That is her thing. Now, other people, the way that they give and receive love is through physical contact, touching, kissing, hugging, hand on a thigh, etc., etc. And I can use this example because that's how I give and receive love. So, for my lady, the touching, kissing, hugging, it's not all that important to her. To her, it's just kissing, hugging, sex, whatever. It's not the expression of love that it is for me. For her, and she has other ways. I'm not, we all have several ways that we do this, but we typically all have one that we value more than anything else. To her, that's no big deal. So when I'm touching, kissing, hugging, etc., for me, I'm expressing my love. To her, we're just doing stuff because it feels good. Now, for her, that's not necessarily an expression of love that she's receiving, because that's not the language that she speaks. Okay? So for her, as she gives me presents and things like that, that's how she expresses her love. Now, to me, I'm not really big on presents. It doesn't do that much for me. So, I don't receive love from her in the way that she's communicating it, because that's not how I do it. So now, you guys might think I'm off on a tangent right now about this whole languages of love and what we, way we give and receive. Not the case, because the way that we communicate our love, all of that is exactly what I said. It's a rule. Now, we have all kinds of other rules. So we can use, how we give and receive love. We can, what's something else? Respect. What it means to be a friend. All of these different things. Hello, little chicken, you're so cute. We have all kinds of these other rules. So, for me, what does it mean to be a friend? It means to openly and honestly share our deepest thoughts and feelings and most heartfelt emotions with each other. Right? So that's what it means to be a friend to me. Now, There's lots of other people out there, and you can have these conversations with yourself and then with the people around you, and just be like, what do I think it means to be a good friend? And you might find it pretty interesting, the different responses you get both out of yourself and the people around you. So for other people, it would be talking every day or every other day. And that's not that important to me. So there are people that I have in my life who they feel like we're not being very good friends if we don't talk. Whereas for me, I don't care if we talk once a year, so long as when we talk, it is, we are truly sharing our souls with each other. Okay? So every argument you've had, getting back to our original point, every argument you have ever had has been somebody violating your rules. Okay, so if it's an intimate partner, maybe for you, you thought you were giving and receiving love by telling them how sexy they are and ooh la la, let me get some of that, and being all over them. Well, for them, that's just off-putting. Just give it a rest. You're like a dog with a bone. So you're going to be upset because, oh my God, you're rejecting my feelings of love. I'm trying to express my love to you, and here you are turning me down. You must not love me very much. When that's not necessarily the case. In their case, they're expressing and trying to receive love in all kinds of different ways. Ways that don't match up with what you're doing. So, I hope this little lesson here helps you guys out in your day-to-day lives as you go about. So the next time you get in an argument, what I would love for you guys to do, if you're in an argument, and hopefully it's not like a big, we're going to yell and scream right frickin' now and there's no getting away from it argument, because those suck. Boom, redstone seeds. Hopefully it's one where you can say, you know what, just pause, let's put a pin in this, I want to stop, and let's just take a break and think about things. And I would hope that you guys can pause yourselves and say, okay, what rule did we violate? Did they violate my rule, or did I violate their rule? And 90% of the time, it's going to be a combination of both. Usually one person will have accidentally violated a rule, and then the other person is going to react and then violate a different rule, okay? But I want you guys to stop, and hopefully that lets you realize that, you know what, it's not that this person doesn't care about me, it's not that they don't love me, it's not that they yada 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 want to hurt me, they're stupid, jealous assholes, whatever. Hopefully you realize it's just, you know what, we have different rules, and I did not think that was that big of a deal. Okay? That's my plea to you guys as you go forward and go about the rest of your probably evening by the time this episode airs. I tend to air these later in the afternoon. So hopefully, as you guys move forward, you'll be able to go, okay, what's really going on here? Let me break this thing down. And giving yourself time to stop and think, even if it's not this, is usually really important, because emotions travel much faster than thoughts. So the moment you can pause and think, you'll be much better. You'll be much better off. So anyway, enough preaching. I hope that helps. If these little tidbits help you guys, be sure to let me know in the comments. And if you've got arguments going on, maybe you've got something going on in your life and you're like, oh my God, leave me comments down below. I would be more than happy to help you guys out. More than happy. In fact, one thing I've been kicking around, and you guys can tell me what you think about this in the comments, but for you guys, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm wasting them. For you guys down in the comments, I've actually been thinking about doing like a Google Hangout. I think I understand how that whole thing works. And I think it would be a lot of fun to do a Google Hangout. And you guys can pop on and say, help me out, I've got such and such issue in my life. And I can help talk you guys through that, and we can try and solve some of these problems together. So let me know in the comments. Let me know what your interest would be as far as that goes. I'd be excited to do that if you guys were down for it. All right, let's find ourselves some living rock. Stay inside, chicken. It's dangerous. There's men out here that will kill you and eat you. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go here. Ooh, what is this? An altar. Altar. 2 altars. Oh, every witch needs a dark altar with which to perform rite and ritual. The best altars are built from rowan stone, rubbed with fumes and anointed with water for good measure. Let's take a look. How complicated is this? Not too bad. Birch saplings, oak saplings. Oh, that is just a piece of cake. Just a total piece of cake. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it today. Rowan wood, stone bricks. Yeah, we're not going to do it today. We'll probably do that next episode or episode after that. Because one thing I want to do, I want to expand our base a little bit. I've been coming down here, working on getting our oyster/fish area rocking and rolling. Meeting some challenges, just because, I don't know. Once you kind of start losing inspiration, it's like, eh. And the brown water just is not helping at all. But I want to expand our base a little bit, and I have a couple of ideas. So we'll see. We'll see. How are we doing out here, Mr. Redstone Seeds? Let's see. What else? Built from? Yeah, that's what we want. So, oh wow, you are expensive. Dude, 48 charcoal blocks. Oh my lord. Let's take a look at something here. Diamond seeds. Okay, so luckily just 1 essence of diamond there. Boom, 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 boom. So 48 charcoal blocks. So 48 times 9, what is that, 400 and something? God, that's a lot of charcoal. 48 cyan powder, some strong essence, obsidian. Okay, that stuff, easy peasy. That one, gonna take a while. So yeah, looks like I'm gonna be tree farming. Lordy. Alright. Well, unfortunately, guys, I think that actually looks like it's going to be about all the time we've got. So, yeah, bummer. Well, oh well. Not a very productive episode in terms of MineCraftery and all that kind of fun stuff, but I shared a little bit of my world with you guys. And again, I really, really want to get your guys' feedback on that. So be sure to let me know if what your thoughts are on my theory of arguments, and yeah, make sure you guys let me know. I look forward to hearing from you, and let me know about the Google Hangout thing too. So as always, guys, thank you very, very much for watching. Truly appreciate your support, and we'll see you in the next episode.